I'm like through the Bluetooth in the vehicle.
You're good.
Okay. So, hi guys. I am so excited about this. I've been talking about it ever since it's been planned. Can y'all still hear me okay? I'm really nervous about that.
You're good.
Okay. So tonight we're going to have two absolute legends on. As I refer to you guys, you're probably like, oh, stop. But that's literally how I refer to the team about you guys, or refer to you guys to the team, whatever. I am in the truck. We have been gone since Thursday. We went all the way to Texas to surprise everybody. And we are still an hour and a half from home. So I will be in here. Sorry for all the noises and stuff. For those who don't know me, I'm Caroline Floyd. I am a diamond. Loud. I am a diamond under Carly, and this is Carly and her entire downline Zoom. It's our weekly Monday Zoom. I know there's some people who are on here who are not within Carly's team, and I'm so excited to have you guys on tonight. I just really wanted you guys. I'm not really going to blab a lot because I want you guys to hear from these other ladies more than myself. I am someone who preaches to my team constantly. I'm very blue and very red, although I do cry all the time. I'm not very yellow, but something that I do preach a lot is that no matter what kind of life you have going on, something that needs to stay as a constant is your business or your dedication to your business. And that's something that I myself had to learn because I've been through a lot of things while with this business. And Anderson's actually the one who's had to be the one to tell me, okay, suck it up, because crying about it and just sitting there like squandering in self-pity is not going to fix your situation. So that is why I preach it, because I had it preached to me. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't even know, we didn't even like plan who wants to go first. I guess Sabrina, you can go first. You can, background your story.
Hold on. I'm going to have to go to my room. My Wi-Fi is cutting out, y'all. It always does this. My Wi-Fi box is in my room, and my office is downstairs across the house. So sometimes it does wonky things. This is recording too. Everybody's just going to get a tour to the upstairs real quick. You were like turning into a robot, and I was like, oh crap. Okay, it was fine on their end. Well, it said my internet was unstable, so we're just gonna not even give it a chance to not work. Okay, you should be good now. Oh, you're muted. Okay, can you talk? Unmute Sabrina. I was just on her name. Unmuted.
Oh, okay. I'm unmuted now. I was like trying to click the button. I was like, nothing's happening, so I don't know what to do. All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Sabrina. I am 26 years old. I've been in the business. It's going to be 3 years on January, I think 21st is when I joined. I joined kind of off of a whim. Melissa messaged me, Melissa G, she messaged me on Instagram, opened her message, didn't even reply back. I'm obsessed with her dogs because we both have pit bulls. So I kept following her. She was consistent, always talked about the business, always talked about how much it was changing her life. And then one day I just went into her inbox and I was like, okay, I'm ready. Where do I sign up? Like you know what I mean? Like it was just her being consistent. So honestly, I joined because I liked the fact that you can make money from wherever. And especially for my lifestyle at the time. And I mean, I guess for my lifestyle now too, that was like the most important thing. When I joined, I was in my 3rd year of being a dialysis patient. When I was 10, well, yeah, like 10. When I was 10, I was diagnosed with FSGS, and it's actually a chronic illness of the kidneys, and it causes kidney failure if you don't take care of yourself. So when I was 20, both of my kidneys failed me, and I immediately had to start dialysis treatments. I did dialysis for 6.5 years. But 3 years in, I found this business, and it was almost like a blessing in disguise. I mean, I never really talk about it in that aspect, 'cause I never really thought of it like that. But recently I noticed that like this business was brought into my life at the most ideal time, because I also work as a veterinary technician with a bunch of like 2 vet hospitals. One I like better than the other. But I was working 40, 50 hours a week while doing dialysis treatments, and it was taking a big toll on my health, and I just wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to work 12-hour days anymore and then go sit in a chair for 4 and have my blood filtered so that way I could walk another day on this earth. So I physically couldn't do it, and this business came into my life, and I was like, wait a minute, can I really make money from my phone while I'm at dialysis, while I'm at doctor's appointments, like while I'm doing the things that I have to do? That's like a non-negotiable for me. Like I can't just not go to dialysis if I don't feel good. I can't just not go. Like I would have died. So this business allowed me to cut almost all of my hours at the vet clinic down to from 40 to 50 down to 10. So I went completely like solo with the business. And I only worked 1 day because I'm passionate about vet med. So I do love helping animals. So I definitely don't see myself ever leaving the field, but just expanding in the field and possibly opening my own rescue because of this business. So a lot of fun things have happened in those 6 years of dialysis, a lot of hospitalizations, a lot of surgeries, and every single time within those last 3 years that I started the business while doing treatments, the one thing that I always stayed consistent and happy with was my business. So while I was in the hospital and I was on I was on a surgical like floor, or while I was getting surgery, or while I was getting fistulograms done, I would always have my phone on me. I'd always be working. I'd always be talking to my team, and I'd always be growing. Because what else would I be doing? Sulking in my own misery? That ain't going to get me nowhere. So I decided not to do that. So I utilized the time that I did have and the time that I didn't have. And then in July of this year, July 24th, I actually received the call for my life-saving kidney transplant from an amazing donor, deceased donor. So somebody, made the selfless choice to donate their organs, and I was lucky enough to get a kidney. So July 24th was the operation date. And I remember, I don't know who it was. I think it might've been you, Caroline. You were doing a Zoom, and I was like, I need my computer because I need to listen to this Zoom. And I was so high on drugs. I was like, whoa. They give you a lot of stuff, guys. They give you a lot of stuff. But like Courtney, like she's my upline. Like me and her would talk every day while I was in the hospital after transplant. And like I was still talking to my team. I was still getting on calls. I mean, I was kind of out of it, but I was still showing up. Because why wouldn't I? Like this business has already gotten me through so much. Why wouldn't I show up for it? So this month will mark 3 months post-transplant. I feel amazing, and it's like I have like a new lease on life, and I feel like I've had to also have a new lease on my business because it's a completely different lifestyle. And I just think when I was able to work in the hospital, when I was able to do the things that I wanted to do because of my business, like I wasn't forced to work 40, 50 hours a week, and I was able to hang out with my dogs and take care of my dogs because I'm a dog mom. I just can't help it. It definitely, like, all the bad days and all the days that you don't want to do it are pushed away by the things that you are able to do and the things that you will be able to do. So yeah, this month will mark 3 months. I've just done so much. And like the reason why I joined in the beginning was I saw this as an outlet to kind of let myself go a little bit and kind of reel back from completely exhausting myself at work. And my reason now, my why now is completely different than when I started. And that's okay, because you grow as a person, so your why should grow with you. It's not always going to be the same. And I'll just never forget all the things that I would be able to do and the things that I never even thought I would have been able to do because of this, and the people that I've met. Like I've met my bestest friends through this business. I've met people that like I would rather be on a Zoom with them at 2:00 in the morning than go out. You know what I mean? Like watching trainings and like watching compensation plan videos. Me and Courtney did that the other night. We were up so late watching a compensation plan video and we were like taking notes. But that's what it is. You find a passion with it, you find what you love with it, and you just you run with it. You run with it, because the moment that you lose your vision, the moment that you lose your why, you may lose your business too. And you guys can't allow that to happen, because whatever you think you thought was possible with this business, it's that times 10 for sure.
Okay, am I unmuted? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, you want to be unmuted.
I was hoping Carly would catch on. Okay. So the next thing is okay. So basically, like, the one thing that I want, like, a lot of people, obviously, well, really, like, all the things from what you just said, is the fact that, one, like, it was like your outlet, and I love that, because, like, when I have all these stressors going on in life, it's like the one thing I want to do is, like, just hop on a Zoom and see the faces of my friends, because they don't live near me, and I'm just like, I just need to get on Zoom. Like, it's like, it's my outlet. I mean, I think that's an amazing way to put it, because a lot of people will, like, get overwhelmed and start looking at this business like it's a stressor, and it doesn't need to be. Like, it should be your outlet, like, you know, and that's how it started out for you, and then it turned into something that God knew you needed before you even knew that you were going to need it, you know? So that's, like, what I want a lot of people to realize. Like, you might not know why the heck you were called to do this now, but you'll find out. I promise you. So let me see. Okay, so, like, when because we all have those times, like, there when your business is, like, feeling down in the dumps, or maybe even, like, just advice for new people who are feeling a little discouraged with how fast things are going with their business, or how slow maybe. Like, what might you say, or what might you have experienced with knowing, like, even though the right now might not be the best, how important it is to, like, keep going, just because, like, you do have goals, and, like, obviously you don't know why you are in it right now, but, like, God already knows why, or whatever, for in the future you'll need it. And so, like, the importance of just, like, keeping going even if things kind of suck right now. Can she unmute herself, Carly? She's trying. Okay.
Oh, I got it. I was like, maybe if I click the button, it will actually work, because it was saying I couldn't unmute myself, and I was like, what's going on? Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There has been, in the almost 3 years that I've been in this business, a lot of stuff has sucked. Okay, a lot of stuff has sucked. Okay, I spent times where I was supposed to be, like, getting on a plane to go to vacation in the hospital. And the only thing that kept me going, and the only thing that I kept reminding myself is that I was going on this vacation because of my business, or else I wouldn't even have had this vacation planned to begin with. So always reminding yourself that even if the business hasn't done anything for you at this exact moment, you still have a dream, you still have goals. So why are those not important all of a sudden? Because you don't see it flashing in front of your eyes. Like, I had no idea what this business was going to do for me when I joined. I just joined on a whim. Like, I just was like, this is going to be my outlet, so that way I possibly don't have to work 50 hours a week anymore. Like, that's what it was, because that's what I thought it would be for me. I didn't know any better. I didn't know what it could turn into. And another thing that, like, really, like, you have to know, things don't happen overnight. What is that saying? You know, I don't know. I don't remember the saying now. It's like, good things come.
For those who
I don't know. Now I don't remember the freaking saying, but whatever. It's basically saying, like, good, like, doing things good and doing them right the first time, you guys have to remember that that's being consistent. Like when you guys want something, you need to be consistent with it and you need to show up every day and not just show up to show up. You know what I mean? Like I've done that before where I would just show up to show up, but I wasn't fully in it. And yeah, those were the days that things were sucking. But what you have to do is you have to pull yourself out of it all the time. You have to force yourself, like, why did I do this? Why did I join this business? What do I want from myself? What do I want from my family? Like what do I want out of this? You need to ask yourself that every single day till your answer makes you cry. Because if your answer doesn't make you cry, then it's not strong enough. And I'm going to tell you that right now. Like, it's not strong enough. Like, my why has changed from the first day that I started until right now. It has changed. And it changes because your life changes. Like, you're not the same person that you were yesterday, because you're striving to be a better person every single day. So you shouldn't be the same person. I mean, for me, a lot of sucky things have happened. So I feel like I kind of am biased because I kind of like don't give the suck any chance. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like used to it. Like things are just gonna suck. But I feel like, especially post-transplant, like my biggest fear right now is that this kidney is not going to last. And like, what if this kidney fails? What if something happens? Like, you guys don't think I think about that? Of course I do. I think about it every day, but I don't allow the suck to take up my entire day. I don't allow the suck of things to just take all the life out of me, because then what are you really doing? Like, what are you doing? You're not helping yourself. You're not helping anybody around you. Your cup is not even a quarter of the way full, and you're just sucking it dry. Like, you can't do that to yourselves. You are the most important thing, and you are the only one that can work this business, and you are the only one that can make it happen. So legitimately, you have to think about it like this. Like, okay, business might not have done anything for me right now, but I need it and it will do this for me. Not I want it to do this, not I hope it does this. No, because then you're leaving loose ends untied. No, you need to say what you need it to do for you and what it is going to do for you. That is it. Like, I know a lot of you don't know, but maybe some of you do. My dog Kimba, she was my life, first of all. I'm just going to say that. She was my soul dog. And she got really, really sick in January before I went to conference. We found out that she had like some liver issue. And I had no idea what was going on. And then in February, while I was actually on a Zoom with Courtney and Melissa, her doctor calls me and tells me that she has a congenital liver failure disease of some sort that's like non-curable. And mind you, this was in February. We had come back from conference and I was like, I'm going diamond. Like, nothing is stopping me. I'm claiming that $10,000 bonus. Like, nothing is stopping me. And I got this news in the middle of the month of February. So it's like a 28-day month, that my dog had 3 months to live. Like, my soul dog. Okay. Do you know how much that sucked? I cried on a Zoom with Courtney and Melissa for an hour because I didn't know what else to do. I was told that my dog that literally saved my life when I went on dialysis was going to possibly live 3 months, and there was nothing that I could do because I would literally do anything for her. But instead of pouring that energy into the suck of the situation, because I couldn't change it, guys. You can't change your shitty situation. You can control your attitude towards it, and you can find a solution for the suck. Okay. I couldn't cure my dog. I couldn't change the shitty situation that we had upon us. But what I did do is I got to work and I claimed that $10,000 bonus, and I paid for her treatment and for care. And I got 6 months with her instead of 3, because I went diamond and I worked hard, even though that was the suckiest month for my feelings, because that was the month that I found out. Courtney and Melissa were by my side. Tish was by my side. These are like my people, and they helped me through it every step of the way. And I went diamond that month, finding that out with my dog. And I was able to pay for her meds for however many months, I think it was like 3 months in advance, and I was able to do a biopsy to figure out what kind of disease she had. That cost me like $3,000. And I was able to do that and get 6 months with her because of this business, because I didn't let the suck. I could have stopped right there in the middle of the month. I could have stopped and been like, I can't do it. Like I can't, like I'm a wreck. I cried every single day, but I cried and I stayed up till 2:00 and I sent messages and I enrolled a ton of people. Like that was my outlet, guys. I use my business as my therapy. And that's how I was able to do it. Like you need to figure out what this business is for you and utilize it times 1,000 to push yourself farther, because sucky shit is always going to happen. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Sucky shit's going to happen to you. Now, whether you allow it to define you is on you. Nobody else, because guess what? Nobody owns you. Nobody tells you what to say. Nobody tells you how to feel. So I could wake up every single morning and be like, why me? Why did I have to do dialysis? Why did I have to have a transplant? Why do I have to take immunosuppressants for the rest of my life? Why do I have to go to do blood draws every week? Like I could do that, but why? Who is that helping? And that would be nearly not as fun as what I'm doing now. So I'm just not gonna do it. So that's just how I see it. And I mean, you just gotta push through the suck, because things might suck today, but you have to push through and know that things might suck later on, and you're gonna push through yet again, because that's what you have to do. Don't let it win. Don't.
Golly, I started tearing up because like we're the same with the dogs, and
I thought I was gonna cry, and I was like, oh my gosh, suck it up.
oh my goodness, it's so emotional. Okay. Okay, I think like the hugest thing from that is like don't let the suck you dry. Like that is like don't wallow in the suck. Don't let the suck your cup dry, because you still have a team to pour into, and like you can't let your own personal suck your cup dry. Gosh, hard. That was so freaking good. You need to be like a life coach. Anyways, the last thing that I want you to touch on before we let Saray hop on is let me see. So like, what do you do like about encouraging your team? Like, how do you kind of keep their spirits up? Like, even if they're kind of down, or like when you enroll someone new and they're like, they know what the things that they're supposed to do, but they're like not doing them. Like, how do you know when to let go, or how to be like, hey, you need to post, stuff like that.
So with me, I did my personality test and I was shocked with the answers. I am like very yellow. I'm like 47% yellow, but then I'm also red. So I'm like very people person, but I'm like, I like money. So it's kind of like a good balance here. But anytime like my team's feeling discouraged or like down, and I mean, I give a lot of credit to like my uplines and like my sideline sisters. Like they help me all the time, like all the time. And you have to see it as like a family. So if you have a distributor or, someone that you enrolled that's not feeling it, or that's not 100%, or that's feeling discouraged, like treat them like you would treat your best friend. Like, what would you do for your friend? I mean, that's what I treat all my DTs as. Like, what do you need? Like, what do you need from me? How do you like to go about your day? How, I always ask them, like, what does your day look like on a daily basis? Like, okay, stop phone. What does your day look like on a daily basis? Do you have, like, what days do you work? Like, I get very personable with them because I want to know what they're about, because I can't train somebody if I don't know how they want to be trained. So I always ask them if they like checklists. I always like them if they like talking face to face. I always ask them if they like phone calls. And then if they're not feeling good or they're feeling discouraged, I'll video chat them. And I'd be like, hello. Do you need a dose of Sabrina Juju? Because I got plenty to go around. And it's just, this is the thing. Like, I never let my emotions affect people around me. And I feel like with my team, like they know that, I will always be on for them. And in return, that helps me. Like when I'm on for them and then they need me, I feel better once I help them. I feel better reaching out to them. And I always ask them like, hey, do you like checklists? Let's do this checklist together. And I will sit there and I will do the checklist with my DTs, like with my new DTs. I'm like, okay, let's go. We're going to sign. I'm like, what does your day look like today? Let's complete this checklist. And I'll put like 5-minute timers on and I'll do a checklist with them. Because sometimes people are just nervous. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. And then they don't want to be annoying. They don't want to feel like they're bothering you. And I'm like, no, literally bother me. Like, I want you to bother me. Like, your uplines want you to send them questions. Your uplines want screenshots. Because you know what that means to us? That is like, this chick's a rock star. Like, she's ready to go. Let's lock arms with her and let's kick it off. Like, if we're not seeing that, we don't know if you're taking it seriously or not. And I'm going to be completely honest, like, we can pour into you as much as we want, but if you're not there holding the cup under where we're pouring, it's just going to fall to the floor. So you have to also realize that you have to meet your team halfway, just like it's vice versa. Like, you have to meet each other halfway. Like, you can't be pouring and then there's nobody there to receive the pour. So you have to realize that, like, if your upline is reaching out to you and like, you're not answering them, or maybe you're not showing up, or maybe you're not being connected, like, you need to meet them halfway too. And I mean, I'm very yellow, so I'm very like, I always say good morning to my chats. I always like send like positive quotes. I always, I don't know, I'm just very talkative and I just like comment on all their stuff. That's just me. Like, I just love like being friendly. But I think especially with new people, they're just nervous. You guys, like, if you guys are nervous, just know that you joined us for a reason. So don't let that psych you out now. Like, you joined us for a reason. Trust us. Trust us and come to us and say, hey, like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Like, what can I be doing? And trust me, we have everything planned out. We know exactly what to do. But we need to see from, like, our point of view, like, we need to see from you that you're ready for more and that you want more, because I'm not going to do all of this stuff and then you not, receive, you don't want to receive it, So like, I need to know that you guys are like all in, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I am with my team. Like, if you're all in, I'm all in. If you're 50% in, I'm 50% in, but I mean, I always show up for them. I'm always in the chats, like. And I just think being present, guys, how are you wanting to lead a team if you're not even there in front of them, leading them? Like, you have to walk beside them. And if you're not there to walk beside them, who are they? Why are you even walking? Why is anyone walking? Like, you have to realize that, like, you have to show up yourself for your team to be there with you side by side and go with you. Because that's what you want. You're not in this, for yourself. You have to ask for help. You do. Just like Carly said, like, we can't help you if we don't know that you need help. Like, don't say, oh, I don't want to bother you guys. It's literally our job. Our job is to make sure you are fully educated and that you are successful. Like, that's what we do. Like, that's literally what we do all day. So I think communication is really important.
Yeah, I love that so much. Like, and I think I've never actually heard it said like that when you said, like, we can be pouring and pouring and pouring, but if you don't have a cup sitting right there for us to be pouring, like, our souls into you, like, you're just, like, wasting all of our positive energy where we're trying to pour into you. Like, somebody go get the mop and another DP so I can squeeze just pour it out that's in that mop now into their cup, because, like, we need you to have your cup out too, or your bowl, or your pitcher, or whatever you might have. But thank you so much. I think I'm going to end up needing to watch this replay like 3 times, because you just, like, spilled so many words of wisdom. Like, I'm telling you, you need to be a life coach. I appreciate you so much, and I look up to you so much, and you should know that, though, because, like, I don't know, like, I fangirl over you all the time, but yeah.
I love you too, Carol. I love you too.
We are going to move on to Saray now, if Miss Curley can unmute her.
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay, you guys, this is Saray. She's also another very close sideline sister, and I am so excited for you guys to hear from her tonight. She's got a totally different lifestyle from me and from Sabrina, and I just love that you guys get to hear all these point of views. So basically, just like Sabrina, start out like, when, why, your little story, and then we'll go from there.
So I'm Saray. I'm 27 years old and I'm a diamond leader. I joined back in June 2017 during the $10 deal. I joined actually because I had just had my daughter in March and I was looking for something to do on the side. I actually, like, my previous background has always been medical. I always did medical field. I was an office manager for a chiropractic office, and then they had offered me or extended me to do like online medical coding and billing. So I was doing that on the side as well when I was introduced to It Works. It was a friend of mine who had joined as well. And it's funny because the person who I do all of my training with, my triple diamond, is the person who I was a customer with first, and I never enrolled with her, and I just ended up being on her team anyways, which ended up working out. But I joined not necessarily, I wanted only like $300 to $400 like most of us, but I didn't really need the company at the time. Like, my husband was getting paid very well. And we had my daughter and we just wanted a little bit extra. The biggest thing for us was our medical bills because our health insurance was through the roof. We didn't qualify for Medicaid. And then it was a time where you were obligated to have health insurance. So myself and my daughter had to have it, and it was just way too much. We were paying for health insurance, but the deductible was way past our means as well. So we had a lot of medical debt. So I had my daughter a couple months later, found out I was pregnant again. So I was going to have a 2 under 2. And that's when everything kind of changed. So then we found out that my husband's job was going to change. So we ended up relocating to a completely different state and then coming back to the state we were at because he got extended on his job. So we had to change apartments. So there was a lot of like back and forth, not a lot of stability. I had my son in Pennsylvania. And that month that he was born was basically the month I had decided that I needed this business to be my full-time income. So from that moment of August until conference this past year, I was able to promote. I had been Emerald, but I had lost rank. So I had, from August to December, I focused on trying to get my Emerald back, which I was able to accomplish. During that, my enroller and my upline, the one who had trained me even up to the moment that I needed to make this my full-time business, both quit on the company. So I was kind of by myself with my team and starting over because that August it was really rough. So I had to start over, was able to promote to Emerald and by conference. And then the following month I was able to promote to Diamond and earned a $10,000 bonus. And we were pushing really, really hard for double. And we're so excited because we're really close to getting it. But that's my little story of like the business wise.
Okay, I'm looking at it. Okay, so yeah, you are literally like my inspiration. I tell her all the time. I literally look at her like she's an ambassador, you guys. Like, we are like we do in our team fire chat, and we like except for like with customers, we actually include the volume, and every single time Surrey's, I'm just like, oh my god, I don't even want to move mine because of what Surrey just moved. Like, hers are so good. The way she talks, she's the best. But I would love it if you would tell us about kind of how you schedule your days, because you do have many children, and there's a lot of people on here with kids. And I don't have kids, and so like I can't contribute to that. So I just wanted to know like kind of how you like run your days. If you get more done in the mornings or at night or whatever. Yeah, I sent them a screenshot of your last Zoom. You can have like this is why she's gonna be on our Zoom tonight, guys.
I think
so. If you could just am I breaking up?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Burn. Okay, I'll shut up. Go ahead and just talk about your schedule, then.
So yes, I have two kids. My daughter's 2.5, and my son is actually 1. So my schedule is very different day to day. My biggest struggle was working when I was so tired because, to be honest with you guys, I haven't slept a full night since before my daughter was born, because my daughter nursed all through the night. And then when she finally slept through the night, I was well into my pregnancy with my son. So then my son was born and he nurses through the night. So that's the time that I actually utilize a lot to my advantage, because since he still nurses through the night, I do respond and send messages whenever he's nursing, just because like I'm up, I'm already like awake, I'm just going to send messages. And that helped me a lot when I was promoting Ruby to Emerald, because newborns cluster feed a lot. So I just try to stay up by messaging. So I utilize a lot of my time messaging as much as I can. Or at least interacting, either one or the other. So I wake up anywhere from 7 to 7:30, and that includes just getting stuff ready for when the kids wake up, and as well, because I'm also married, so I have to help my husband and prepare his lunch and whatnot. So that includes that aspect. And then as soon as the kids are fed, because they usually wake up around 7:30, around the time my husband leaves to work, that's when I start like messaging, sending out all my initial messages, and I post everything in the morning when it comes to like what I'm drinking. Even if I'm not drinking it that morning, I have previous videos saved, and I'll just put a new background to it. And then I will at least make sure that I post anywhere from 4 to 5 slides that morning, including something that I'm drinking or using, an explanation of the product, and then maybe like a cute quote or something. So that way I have my morning set. And that gives me a little bit of time to attend to the kids and whatnot. And then throughout the entire morning, I'm either like, I just message whenever I have some time. So from 10 to 12-ish, I will like, I usually put like something for the kids to be entertained with. And then I will focus on like sending out the initial messages. I actually only really cold message. I don't really do a lot of hosted posts until the end of the month. So I message from the 1st to the 25th, and that's cold message. And all of my messages consist of giving them the option to either want more information of the products or the business. And that's my initial message. Like, I don't just give them a message saying, do you want information on this product? Like, no, it's like either product or business, and they pick one or the other or both. And that gives me an advantage. And then I then dedicate time to the kids. I'm also like teaching my daughter. She's bilingual too. So I have to teach her. She's 2.5. So I spend time with them. And then during nap time is the biggest time that I just like go all out. So I post more on my stories. I do a lot of follow-ups. And I do a lot of videos. So yes, I do slides, but my go-tos are videos because they're just quicker, they're easier. I'm explaining, people are seeing my face, they're seeing my excitement, they're seeing everything. And I'm not too like aesthetic when it comes to my posts, just because I don't have the time to sit there and make sure that the glitter is perfect and the stars are here and whatnot. Like, I just slap a picture, like the before and after picture that I shared of Carolyn yesterday. Like, I literally just put your picture and then I just put words from Instagram, and then that's it. And then I do usually like a video, I hype it up. So I'll be like, you guys, like, you have to see my 1-year result. And then I post my before and after picture. And then after, I'm like, this, like, as you guys can see, like, I've been using this, and that, and this is why I use it. You guys have to use it, blah, blah, blah. And using the products has really, really, really helped me to be able to confidently sell high BV orders. So if you haven't seen my 1-year transformation or at like my product transformation, I can share my before and after with you guys later. I actually have to get my most recent one approved, but that allows me to be able to talk about it like without any hesitation. So for me, like 30 BV doesn't really exist. I will sell it if I have to, but I will find a way to be able to upsell it as much as I can. Like, it's my ultimate goal to be able to go above and beyond the last BV order that I placed. So like today I've signed up 4 loyal customers just with a sense of urgency. So that's more of like me showing the excitement again, showing my face, doing voice messages and telling them like, you guys, I did a countdown with the TFX on my story. And I'm like, you guys have to get this deal. You have to, like, there's only 1 hour left, blah, blah, blah. And I had a customer down to the last 15 minutes of the deal and the website went down. So then I had to submit a ticket and they were able to honor it. But it's like, that's that kind of urgency that I like until the end, right until the wire. And I work best when I'm under pressure. So that's why I usually like, I sign even higher BV orders from the 25th until the end of the month, because I'm like, I don't know, it just, the pressure like makes me work even harder. So, but with high BV orders, just basically creating my own bundles. So I take a lot of my own pictures with the products and I just make up a bundle. So if it's like a full detox, my full detox is going to consist of the cleanse, the just celery, the super greens, and the probiotics. And that's a full high BV order for me. So I include all of them. I tell them like, look, if you want the results you want, like this is what you need. And then if they tell me they can't afford it, or I barely get people that tell me they can't afford it at that moment. Like they might just say they don't have the money for it. I find out a date that works best for them. So they end up signing up for it anyways. I do a lot of the shopping list, the shopping cart, and tell them that they've unlocked deals like the $49 deal. And something that I also recently started doing was messaging a lot of my old loyal customers, and even people who are current loyal customers, and reassessing their goals and asking them if they have, like, if anything has changed, or I tell them like I have good deals going on. And that's actually what helped me, like last week, place a 225 BV order, because I reassessed her goals at that time. And I'm like, hey, so I have these deals and I have a just celery that came out. Because if you're not messaging your old loyal customers, another distributor is probably going to cold message them and tell them about a product that you probably never told them about. So that's why I like to go back to my old loyal customers and make sure that I'm telling them about this new stuff, even if they're getting emails, just so that I can get them to place a one-time order. So like today, not only did I get my 4 loyal customers, but I also got an additional 2 old loyal customers to place either an outside auto shipment order or or just a one-time order that they haven't placed in a couple months. So huge enrollments, you shouldn't be scared about it. Like our products work so great together. Like even our new skincare line, like that's why we have these bundles, so that one works with the other. So if you don't have your own personal before and afters, I also recommend that you at least try one of our products, especially if you're new, to just find a product that you love and be able to confidently sell that specific product. And then you can keep adding stuff to it. So I started off with the keto coffee and the chocolate greens. And then when TFX came out, I added it. So then I was selling the 3 together. And then the Fat Fighters had been around, but I hadn't used it. So then I added it. And then that's the bundle that I stuck with. And now that Just Celery came out, I added on too. And then now that I'm tightening and toning because I lost 38 pounds, now I add the wraps. So it's like, as I'm continuing, I'm adding all these products, and those are the bundles that I'm selling.
Okay, now it works. But oh yeah. So I really hope I don't lose focus. So yeah, the biggest thing. I can't hear me. I'm so sad. I'm a robot. It's fine. Okay. Just give like the last, just do the last part. Hold on, let me type.
That what?
I'm gonna type it.
Okay. So the way I encourage my team about high BV orders is I show them. So I had a really hard time duplicating what I was doing to my downline because I wasn't showing them. I was just telling them. So I do a lot of screen recordings and I share it with them and I send it to them and I tell them like, this is what I'm doing. And I also, since I create my own bundles, I create my own picture. So at home, I'll add the products together and I'll take a picture of it. And then I send that to my entire team actually. Yeah, I screen record the combos. Like I just like screen record the potential, sorry. So then aside from that, I also, the pictures, I send it to them and then I just kind of break it down for them. So I would initially kind of say, okay, this is the explanation you can, especially for the newbies, I'll say like, this is the explanation you can do for the keto coffee. This is the explanation you could do for everything, etc. But I also try to teach my leaders to teach that to their new distributors as well, because they're not going to really know unless you tell them. So if they are settling for just a 30 BV order, we celebrate that and we'll tell them, yay, that's great. Okay, now let's try to shoot for something bigger. Because that way we explain it to them. And usually when you tell them like the money aspect of it, they're like, okay, no, we need to work on these high BV orders. So I actually have a girl who started with me last year and then quit and then came back this past year in July. And she herself promoted herself to Ruby in a month. And then on top of that, now she's charted for Emerald. She's only 2,400 away from Emerald. But as of today, this past weekend, she already enrolled over 500 BV by herself. So that's just the duplication of me like working together and telling her, okay, these bundles work together. And she follows other leaders that do the same thing. So that way she kind of sees the idea of it. Because you don't have to be intimidated with the bigger bundles. Like, I think it's just our biggest thing is like, we discourage ourselves because we automatically think that they're not going to afford it, or it's going to be too much, or it's going to be out of pocket. Like, even for the person that I had them place a 225 BV order, like I threw it at them, but the order initially was like 280, 90 BV order. And they only brought it down. They just knocked out one product, and it was the BFF. That's all they knocked down. So I still got a high BV order, but like for ourselves, like for me, when I sent that message, I was like, oh my gosh, you're not going to order it. Like, what am I doing? It's like a almost $350 order. Like, they're not going to pay for that. Like, I think I went too high on this order. Like, I was doubting myself. But if I wouldn't have sent it, I would have missed the order, because they did want all of this stuff. They did order everything. They ordered absolutely everything that we had to order, like super greens, coffee, cleanse. They ordered body wraps. Like, they ordered the whole thing. So we can't self-limit ourselves. We can't think that someone just can't afford it or someone isn't interested in it, because you'd be surprised at how much money or how much something they're willing to invest in, especially if they've been struggling with it for a very long time. And I always try to also tell them that. So like with the distributors, I just try to make sure that they're as personal as possible. So with their conversations, you're treating them as humans. So if they're telling them their struggles, make sure you acknowledge it and tell them like, okay, so like the way I do it is I'll say like, oh girl, I got you. Like, I'm so happy that you're allowing me to help you with this transformation. Or I'm so happy that you're trusting me with all this stuff that's going on. And then that way, that way my team is doing the same thing too, and they're being personal. How do you go for team members that want this? Oh yeah, I do fire a lot of potentials. We did 3-way calls with like my upline, and even her, like she's the one who taught me that. Like, we'll be on a 3-way call with someone and we're doing the questions, like telling them about the job, and then my upline will be like, okay, now like you're not, this isn't for you. So like, she's the one who taught me how to fire. Like, for me, our team is moving in such a fast pace right now. We're creating this momentum for the team, and a lot of girls are very passionate and want to promote. So we're kind of done dragging people along. Like, we want people to be at the same momentum as us and are on the same page. So at this current time, just like if you were running any other business, like you have expectations of where you are and what people you want to bring onto your team. So for me, like if you don't check mark my list, like I'm not going to add you. Like and especially now with the 50% off codes, like I'm not going to waste my code when I spent money on my ticket, and I'm not going to give you a code just to give it to you. Yeah, I'm going to get a fast start out of it, but in the long scheme of things, like you're not going to bring any type of momentum to the team. So that's the kind of like, I'll just flat out tell them, okay, sorry, I don't think this is a good fit for you, or I'm sorry, I don't think this would be the right timing for you. Like maybe later down the road, if things change, maybe you can reassess it and maybe you can come and join our team. But right now, this isn't for you. So we'll just straight up fire them.
Okay, I think I'm on. Can you guys hear me at all? Okay, before I leave service, I just want to know, like, your main tip just for any, like, newbies who might be feeling discouraged about the pace of how their new business is going. And then other than that, like, I think that'll be a great note to, like, close on just because I don't know if I'm going to be able to, like, say bye to everybody, like, by the time you're done because of my service. So I'm going to go ahead and say, like, thank you to, like, both of you guys. Like, from the bottom of my heart, this recording is going to be watched by so many people, and I'm so thankful. But I just wanted you to touch on that, what I just said real quick, and I think we'll be good.
So for discouraged newbies, we were doing, like, the beginning of the month, we were doing a lot of journaling Zooms. I don't know if you guys have seen the video by Marwa talking about how she focused on doing self-development and explaining that to her new distributors from the start. And that's kind of something that we've implemented too. So we right off the bat tell them about self-development, and we include that in their 6 list or 7 list, whatever. And we tell them about self-development from the start. And I am super honest with them. So initially with my new distributors, I do a FaceTime call with them and I tell them flat out, I'm like, look, owning a business is rough sometimes. Like, it's a roller coaster of emotions. And I tell them, like, as women, we are very tuned into our emotions. One day we're having a good day, one day we're having a bad day. So I explain that from the start, and I tell them that the only thing that's going to get them through those moments is making sure that they're locking arms with their team, that they're venting to us if they feel like they're having a bad day or if they're having something that's going on with their business. They shouldn't seclude themselves. They should actually come and confide in us even more and let us know what's going on. And then on top of that, do self-development. And I tell them, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to someone on our team, but you can find someone in the business that speaks to you and connects with you personally. And that's the person who's going to help you get through the business as well. So like for me, yeah, I have my sidelines and I have my upline, and there's a whole bunch of other leaders in the company that I love, but I kind of tune into the whole, like, Spanish. I'm bilingual. So I listen to a lot of, like, self-development and informational from, like, Spanish leaders that are from at work. So that to me is what keeps me going. They're the ones who put a fire under me and help me move forward. So that's not something that my upline can give me because she's not bilingual. She doesn't speak Spanish. So it's always very important that you're teaching your newbies exactly what you would do. So like what helps you get through your moments. And Sabrina mentioned it too. Like, I share a lot of quotes. I'm very yellow. So I share a lot of quotes. I even share a lot of funny memes. So like today I found one in Spanish of girls who, like, in the Spanish community, like, losing weight. I mean, it could be the same thing in English, but it specifically talked about our coffee, and it said like, oh, you're not losing weight with the coffee. And then it was like, I'm sorry, but who told you to drink the coffee while eating bread? So in Spanish, it was a lot funnier, but those are funny things that I share with them because that way they know that we're going through the same struggle. So if someone told me that they didn't lose weight, I'm going to tell them about it. And then I'm going to tell them, okay. And I started asking them, why didn't they lose weight? And it come to find out that they didn't change their diet at all. So they weren't even taking the products the way they were supposed to. So then those are things that I make it funnier, so that way they know that we go through the same struggles, and we go through people complaining, or we go through people quitting, or we go through people just like anything all over in the business, and they understand that there's always a way to get through all of that. Like, just because your first distributor that you signed up quit, or the first customer you signed up didn't like their product, like, that doesn't mean that you quit. Like, you joined, like we all mentioned, we have our why. We all joined for a reason, and just one no or one person giving you a negative review shouldn't reflect or determine the rest of your business, because in the long scheme of things, like, there's going to be so much more given to you, and there's going to be so many more customers that are going to be happy and giving you good reviews and sending you customers your way and stuff like that, and giving you shout outs on your story. So I explain all of that to them in their first initial Zoom, so that they have that in the back of their mind. And if they are feeling discouraged, they know that they can come to me and talk to me.
Okay, can y'all hear me? I get tired of saying that every time. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get home. I love that so much. I think just being open and honest and not being scared to like say like, look, this is a business is the biggest thing with that. So I appreciate you guys like so freaking much. I love that for you guys so much. You guys are my favorite. This Zoom was so amazing. I can't wait to share it with everyone that I know. Again, thank you for all your amazing words. And I think that like, you know, that's all for tonight, folks. But now I believe Carly and our team has another Zoom starting at 9:30. So those who are within Carly's team can stay on, and those who aren't, y'all can go ahead and like hop off. But thank you everyone again. Everyone say bye. Thank you. Carly, team stay on.